Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to be showing 3 different cards with some really fun inked background techniques, and these are cards that are great to send to your crafty friends. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm going to start off with a simple ink blended resist technique, and for this I'm going to use the Happy Mail background stamp, which has a bunch of different little envelopes and cards and stamps and stuff like that. So I'm going to take my clear embossing ink and ink my stamp up, and then I'll take my piece of stark white cardstock, and I like to stamp onto the stamp like this, so I just press my cardstock into it and give it good pressure. Then I'll take my clear embossing powder and sprinkle it over top, and then I'll be able to heat set this until it's nice and clear and shiny. Now I've heard a couple people have problems with embossing powder, and you just want to make sure you don't heat it too much, so just until it turns shiny and then stop heating it. And then I'll go in with a couple of different Simon Hurley Create inks and start blending on my background. Now I'm going to do a little bit of masking later on and only use the center of this background, so I'm focusing my inks mainly on the center of the card. For this ink blending, I'm using the Gina blender brushes. I really like these because the bristles are nice and soft, and you're easily able to get some softer blends, but you could use any different blending tool you have. And I'm using Crown Me, Bee Sting, Prom Queen, and Guppy for some really nice bright and warm colors. So once I'm done kind of blending everything out like this, I'll go in with a rag and kind of wipe off the surface. And that's going to make that nice and bright white again and clean off any ink that was on top of the embossing. I really love the effect that resists like that create. So then I'm going to be using the Dudettes stamp set from Simon Hurley Create, and I love this to create cards for the women in your life. You have 3 different heads and different bodies, so you can make it look like whoever you're sending it to. So I'm going to ink these up in jet black archival ink. I chose a head that I wanted to stamp down, and then I'm going to ink up the body as well. And with this, you're able to just easily see through the acrylic block, line up the neck with that head, and then like I said, you can put different positions and make them look like whoever you're giving the card to. Now when I'm going in to color my images in, I like to use that jet black archival ink because it's waterproof, but it also stays wet long enough so I can apply a little bit of clear embossing powder, and that's going to help you when you're watercoloring to make sure that you stay inside of the lines. It creates almost like a little well. And then I'll also stamp down the mailbox and a card, and those are from the same stamp set. I love that set because you're able to take some of the images and make it kind of like an arts and crafts card to send to your crafty friends, or just make it a normal card for your girlfriend. So I'm going to go in, and whenever I watercolor with my Simon Hurley Create inks, I always add down a little bit of water at first to make sure that they blend really nicely, and then I like to go into my color and add it down. And that's just going to make sure that you get a little bit more playtime on the surface and that your ink doesn't sink right into the cardstock. So I always add that water down first. So if you struggle with blending or anything like that, be sure to add a little bit of water down before you add your ink onto the surface. Now I'll do the same thing with our hair too, and if you want to go back in and add a little bit of shading too, I like to just go in with a regular paintbrush so you have total control over how much water you add. And for the shading, I add less water onto my brush and I go right back into that same color and pick up some of that darker tone and then add it down wherever I want any shading. You totally don't need to do that, but it just creates a little bit of extra depth and dimension on your images as you're coloring things in, and adds a little bit of shadow to it too. So if you follow those simple steps, you'll have a really easy time using your inks to watercolor things in. And to get the inks onto the surface too, I just took the ink pad and smooshed it onto my craft sheet, and that makes a really easy palette to kind of color your project in with. Now that stamp set also had a little sweater design to go along with this shirt, so I'm just going in with a couple of different ink colors and inking it up. I like to roll the darker color on to add a little bit of shadow and depth, and then I'll stamp it right down onto her sweater, and that creates just a really cool floral design on there. I love that there was a stamp for that so you can get lots of intricate details in her sweater. Now I'm going to go in with these images and do a little bit of fussy cutting here. Now when I do any sort of detail cutting like this, I like to leave a little bit of a white border so that she stands out from the rest of the inked background. And I also love these Fiskars Spring Assist scissors. They have a little bit of spring so they don't make your hands tired at all when you're cutting things out. Now I said I was going to do a little bit of masking, and I'm using this oval die from Tonic Studios. I love this one because it has a bunch of different layering, and this one has a little bit of a scalloped edge. And I'm going to cut that out of a piece of white cardstock, and that's going to allow me to kind of create a window so that you have that color kind of peeking through the card. So to add my images down, I'm just laying them down with some foam tape and using that kind of window that we've cut out as a guide for where I'm going to put everything. I've lined up the mailbox and the card in her hand, and then I'm going to take the window and put it on some foam tape as well. And to line that up, I just line it up with the top edge of my card and then drop it down, and it should line up with the rest really nicely. So there's that finished card. Again, a really great card for your crafty friend or really anybody in your life, but I love that there's different images like the envelope and the mailbox to really finish that off. So next card, I'm going to go in and do a similar technique, but this time we're going to make it a little bit less of a stark white look. So I'm going in with my Gina blender brushes and a couple of different blues, green, and yellow color of my ink pads. And here, instead of going super dark, you can see I'm kind of tapping off color to the side. And I'm also using these blender brushes with a really light touch so that I only get a soft blend of color. You'll see why in a little bit, but having that soft blend is really nice to do. These are usually super intense colors, but by tapping them off and going in with a light pressure, you're able to get this really kind of light pastel colored look, which I really enjoy for this technique. So once everything's all blended, you want this to be super nice and dry. Sometimes when you ink blend, the ink is totally dry on the surface, like this won't move with your fingers, but it leaves a little bit of moisture on the surface of your cardstock, and you're not going to be able to do heat embossing without the embossing powder sticking everywhere. So I went with my heat tool and heated this background up until it was super dry. I test it with a little bit of embossing powder, and if anything sticks, I'm back to heating to make sure that it's nice and dry before I do any detail embossing. Now I'm going in with my clear embossing ink onto this Playful Petals background stamp, and I'll take my panel and put it right into there, giving some good pressure so that every part of that stamp transfers really nicely. Then I'll throw over a little bit of clear embossing powder on top of my stamped image and background, and I'll heat that until it's nice and clear again. And this is going to create that beautiful resist, but there's already a little bit of that lighter color trapped underneath. So here I'm going to go in with my ink blending tool. I've switched over to the mini ink blending tool from Ranger because for this I want a really solid color, and I find that it's super easy to create that solid color with these blending tools. So I'm going over top with all of the exact same colors in the exact same positions that we put them, except you're adding a lot of that darker, more saturated color on by layering it up and going in with a really heavy hand. And here you can see you get a little bit of a less stark white look, and you get that really nice kind of tone-on-tone color underneath. Now, I thought I was only going to use the center of this background, so I didn't blend the lighter color all the way to the edges. Nobody's going to know except for me and you, but if you do this technique, you might want to blend it all the way to the edge. So now I went in with my little spray bottle here and I misted it to get a little bit of texture on the card as well, which I really enjoyed. And then I'll go in with a circle die cut, and I'm going to die cut again a window like I did on the other card. I'm going to kind of place it in there, and then we have that window cut out, and it creates this nice seamless background, but we can tuck something underneath there. So to add this to my card, I've added a little bit of adhesive on the back of that center panel. That other piece is not adhered down, but I'm just using it to position this piece right in place. So I'll place it down, give it some good pressure, and then it's lined up in place. Now here I've already stamped and colored another lady just like we did the last one, but I just used some different images, and then I'm able to tuck her right underneath that top piece. So I found this was a good way to attach her, and then we can add foam tape to the whole thing. This was a better way to do it than I did the last one, and then I'm just going to adhere that down onto the card, and I love that she's kind of tucked under that window, but the background is completely seamless. To finish it off, I added that hello die from Birch Press, and I just loved this fun inked background, and this is just a perfect card to send to your girlfriend, not necessarily super crafty, but just a fun one. Now as a little bonus card here, I decided to pull out a couple of stamp sets from my stash. This one's from Ink Blot Shop, and it's got a bunch of big art icons in it, which I thought was a super fun one to use for your crafty friends. So I've grabbed a little bit of Gina K's Masking Magic. I love her masking paper because it's got a little bit of a coating on it, so it's not going to kind of sink through with inks or anything like that, and you could use it several times. So I've stamped down the card image and also the envelope image onto that masking paper. And then I'm going to just fussy cut these out. And I usually don't love masking because it's a little bit of time consuming, but honestly, these images are super simple. I went in with my Fiskars Spring Assist scissors, and they're basically just little rectangles to cut right along the edge on. So once I'm done cutting those images out, I'm going to stamp them down onto my card. I'm taking that card image and I'm going to stamp it down, and I used the mask to kind of line up and plan things out. Then I'll peel off the masking paper and lay it down onto that card so that it stays nice and white when we do our other stamping. Then I'm going to stamp the envelope and make it kind of tucked behind the card. So I'm just going to stamp that down, and mind you, the masking paper is still on the card here, so that's going to be nice and covered up. You want whatever image that's going to be kind of front and center to be stamped down first. So here I wanted the card front and center, I stamped that down, and then the envelope is going to be tucked behind it, like this. So then I'm going to use the Altenew Halftone Circles stamp set. This one is an oldie but a goodie. I honestly love it, and you'll see it in more videos as well. It's just a great way to use for kind of coloring your stamps with a cool, different, unique look. So I'm going to go in here with the largest halftone pattern and stamp it down on that background there, and it kind of stamps your ink solid in the center and then fades out with those halftone patterns. And I'll do it the same thing on the other side there with that Psych colored ink. So using the lightest green there. Then I'm going to go in with one of the smaller halftones and use a little bit of blue, which is going to blend really nicely down with the green that we've already created to create a darker green color in between. And it kind of mixes the halftone images and creates a really cool effect when you layer them up like this. So I'm just stamping the halftones kind of half on, half off of the cards to fade out into the background. And then last but not least, I'll use Tropical Tango, which is going to add a little bit of a darker color in another kind of one of those smaller halftones. So I'm just going to continue stamping these patterns down, and I just love the bold and graphic look that you get from stamping these halftones, and layering them up like this creates a really awesome effect from the outside of those envelopes. So now I'm going in and peeling off that envelope mask there to reveal that really nice stark white envelope. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Woof ink from my line, which is a nice light gray color. And I'll just go in and blend it out from the envelope so that it creates a little bit of shading behind my card. I like that this will add a little bit of dimension to it. So I'll peel off that card, which is going to be nice and bright white, and then I'll stamp down the Crafty Friends Are the Best sentiment, and this is from the Dudettes stamp set from Simon Hurley Create. So I just love that it's kind of like a card on top of the card, but that bold and graphic look from those halftones is just stunning and a perfect card for your crafty friends. Alright, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave a comment down below letting me know which card was your favorite. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you never miss another card making and crafting video like this one from me. Alright guys, I'll see you very, very soon. Have a great day. Bye!